welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fall DIY. We are going to be making over some pumpkins. There's a couple reasons that I really love doing DIY decor, especially seasonal decor. I love decorating for every single season, but I also like to save money while doing so. So DIYs are great if you don't want to spend a ton of money. In this video, I'm going to be repurposing a bunch of pumpkins that I had used in my neutral color scheme for last year, and this year I'm transitioning into more of a traditional color scheme. So we are going to be giving those pumpkins a makeover. Sometimes it's nice to do DIY decor just so you don't have the same thing as everyone else. So that's another reason that I love doing DIYs as well. If you enjoy fall DIYs, I also have one coming up with a bunch of different fall wreaths, and then I also am going to be showing you how to make a few different fall signs. So if you like home decor and DIYs, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload. And let's get started with today's pumpkin DIYs. We're getting started by making a pumpkin sign, and you will need a small pumpkin. Mine is from Hobby Lobby, some letters, mine are from Michaels, and the wood sign I have is from Hobby Lobby, and I really like that it had a little kickstand option as I plan on using mine on a shelf. So the first thing I did was cut the pumpkin with a serrated knife right behind the stem, and this pumpkin was foam, so it was really easy to cut. I needed 2 packs of these letters that I got in the wood decor section at Michaels, and I thought about having the sign say a few different things. I debated using farm fresh pumpkins, fall is my favorite, but ultimately I settled on pumpkin everything since this will be by my coffee bar. I'm just using some hot glue to attach the pumpkin to the sign. Next, I suggest placing your letters where you want them to go, just to make sure they line up and look right before you start hot gluing them to your sign. This would be a great way to repurpose an old sign that you had on hand, or even some scrap wood. If my sign was a little bigger, I would have used 2 of the white mini pumpkins that came in the bag at Hobby Lobby. I think one of the short ones and one of the tall pumpkins would look so cute together on this sign. Next, we're making a faux pumpkin spice latte in a pumpkin, which I totally think Starbucks should start doing. And with this, I am using some joint compound, and this is the same stuff I used to make my DIY faux bricks, so I already had some on hand. I'm also going to be using a craft pumpkin from Michaels, and then I went ahead and picked up a piping bag tip just to get the whipped cream texture, but this step is completely optional. You could totally just use a Ziploc bag and cut a hole in it, but with that, it's not going to have the same whipped cream texture that I was really going for. I decided to add a little bit of water to my joint compound so it was easier to work with and would come out of the bag easier, but in hindsight, I don't know if this step was completely necessary, and I think it actually would have applied better without adding water, so maybe you want to try it without the water first. Then I just applied the mixture directly to my pumpkin, and like I said, I feel like I could have went without the water, but I didn't have any problems with it running or dripping. And then you just decorate it with whatever you want. I had some cinnamon and a cinnamon stick on hand, but I also think that some fall sprinkles or even a little straw would look so cute. And then to finish it, I picked up some letter stickers from Michaels and added the words pumpkin spice to it. I think I'm going to use mine for a photo prop, but this would be so cute next to a coffee bar, or if you made smaller versions, it would be really cute on a tiered tray or even as a place card holder on a tablescape. The possibilities are truly endless. have a variety of neutral pumpkins that I am going to be painting and repurposing today to match my more traditional color scheme. I decided to remove the stems on these with the exception of 2 of the foam Dollar Tree pumpkins that I added my own stem to last year, and those I just knew would not come on and off easily, so I went ahead and taped those instead. Next, I divided them up to be painted. I will be painting some with acrylic paint in the color Gray Stone, and the others I will be spray painting with Krylon Metallic Copper. Copper has been a big theme in my fall kitchen decor this year, so I thought it would be really fun to see if I could make a few copper pumpkins to incorporate on my kitchen shelves and my tiered tray. And I also thought that adding some charcoal pumpkins would be a nice contrast to the white and the copper pumpkins that I will be using in my kitchen this year. The coverage on this spray paint was insane. It covered even my dark green pumpkin that had big black letters with just one coat, and it's so shiny and looks so realistic to all of my other copper pieces. They came out so good. About halfway through, I realized that if I used a big barbecue skewer, it would help me rotate the pumpkins without getting paint all over my hands, so that is just a little pro tip for you. For painting pumpkins with acrylics, it's really simple. I just applied one coat with a regular paintbrush and it dried with a matte chalk paint finish. If you are painting orange pumpkins a lighter color, I recommend first painting them with white paint, letting it dry, and then adding your desired color. And this will just make your new color stand out and not get muddied down by the bright orange. Now I want to point out how the Dollar Tree foam pumpkin that I painted reacted with the spray paint. It kind of gave it a textured look that kind of reminded me of my hammered copper mule mugs, but that's just one thing to be aware of when you spray paint pumpkins, especially ones from the Dollar Tree that might be made with a really cheap foam. It just might have a reaction when you spray paint it. Now I just added back in the stems, and I did have a few that didn't want to stick back in right, so I just added a little bit of hot glue to the end and they went right back in. I am so happy with how these turned out and I can't wait to start decorating with them. We're going to be making over this pumpkin from Hobby Lobby into a hobnail milk glass pumpkin. I am obsessed with the hobnail look and I decided why not make a hobnail pumpkin for fall. I used the Krylon Shortcut spray paint in gloss white and tulip dimensional fabric paint in snowcap white, and both of these I picked up from Hobby Lobby. The first step is to spray paint the entire pumpkin, including the stem, the glossy white, and I ended up using 2 coats on this pumpkin to get the desired look. When it's dry, I just started at the top and made little dots all over. There really wasn't a rhyme or reason to it. I just wanted to try to keep them close together. And I will admit that this was a bit more time consuming than I expected. And my hand was sore at the end, but I was determined to see it through. I also wanted to point out that I never had an issue with the paint dripping, and you also just want to be careful as you rotate the pumpkin to not bump the sides that were already painted. I ended up setting mine on a cake stand, which kind of elevated it towards the end, and I found that to be super helpful. And here she is. I love it so much. I let it dry overnight since fabric paint tends to dry slower, and in the morning it was good to go and I didn't have any issues with it dripping, and it honestly looks exactly like I hoped that it would. I would love to do more of these in various sizes, but first I think I will give my hand a little bit of a rest. Next, we're using a big pumpkin that I picked up from Michael's to make a DIY pumpkin vase. Most tutorials I've seen require you to cut a circle in the pumpkin to insert floral foam or a vase if you are using real flowers, but I wanted to see if I could come up with a way to do this without cutting the pumpkin. I like to rotate my decor, and defacing this one for the sole purpose of being a vase honestly made me cringe. So I just stuck some floral foam right over the stem and cut it to size with a serrated knife. I'm using some greenery that I had on hand and just working from the bottom up. I will say that I would probably switch out the hydrangeas on top for different flowers, but like I said, I used what I already had on hand for this, and overall I thought it achieved the purpose and also looked really cute on my table surrounded by my new copper and charcoal pumpkins. Alright, I hope you enjoyed these 5 pumpkin DIYs for fall and found some inspiration. If you decide to make any of these, make sure to tag me over on Instagram. I love it when you guys do that. And also make sure you are subscribed for more DIY and decorating inspiration. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.